Kryptonians, ladies, gents, whoever's tuning into this video, there's only one thing that can be said after such a long time away from the camera like this. Hannibal is back! Make some noise! What is up? Welcome back to the Superfan Show. This is the first video I've done in like 2.5 months, I want to say. I think the last video I did was Everything Everywhere All at Once. Guys, I've been through a lot in the last couple of months. I have not been in the mental space to do videos. I've been moving, I've been trying to get settled, and as you can see, I'm still in the process of getting settled. You can see Spyro behind me, you can see some posters. For anybody new to the channel, welcome, glad to have you here. I wish that we were talking about, you know, a more important subject than the subject of this video. I apologize for being so late on everything, and there's gonna be a lot of catching up to do. But we'll get to that later on in the video. For now, let's focus on The Gray Man. The Gray Man cost $200 million. Maybe I should repeat that number, $200 million. That is how much this movie cost. That's just, so The Gray Man is a new spy action thriller that came out on Netflix a couple of weeks ago. It is directed by the Russo Brothers. You don't know who the Russo Brothers are? I mean, sure you do. Captain America, Winter Soldier, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame. You should know who the Russos are at this point. And this film stars Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans. You should know who they are at this point as well. It stars Ana de Armas. It stars Jessica Henwick. It stars Billy Bob Thornton, one of the lucky few men in this world who have had an opportunity to smash Halle Berry. Billy Bob Thornton is always gonna be a GOAT for that. I don't care what you guys say. This movie is adapted from a spy novel of the same name, I think, and it follows Ryan Gosling's character. He's in prison for something, and then the CIA comes to recruit him, and he becomes an agent of the CIA. He becomes part of this Sierra 6 program, or whatever the hell it's called. He becomes the baddest of the baddest, the best of the best. You know how those type of things go in a story like this. And then all of a sudden one day he runs across a MacGuffin, and this MacGuffin is potentially damaging to some very important people. Next thing you know, everybody in the movie is after this MacGuffin, and he has to like maneuver through all those people while also protecting somebody he cares about. Come on, you've heard the template for that story hundreds of thousands of times. Anybody new to this channel, I separate my positives and my negatives into my supers and my Luthors. I always try to focus on positive stuff because there's usually some positive stuff that you can pull out of anything, even if it's something that you completely hated. The Russos have had a very checkered resume outside of Marvel, let's just say that. I'm not saying that the Russos are bad directors or that they don't know what they're doing or whatever. I'm just saying they really could use a home run outside of the Marvel umbrella. You know, they could use a win, and I was rooting for this movie to be a huge win for them. And is it a win? Is it a win? Is it a win? It's, you know, I mean, there are winning moments. I mean, that counts for something. First of all, if you like action, this is gonna be your safe space. This is gonna be your happy place. There's plenty of action sequences in this movie, and if that's all you came into this movie for, you're gonna be pretty happy. It feels like there's only like maybe 5 to 10 minutes of downtime, if that, between each action sequence. It's staged and filmed in a very creative and inventive way. Like when you look at the sets, you look at the locations and where and how they decided to bring these action scenes to life. A lot of it is actually pretty creative. Like, oh, okay, this is an interesting place to have a fight like this or to have a big thing. There's a big, huge action sequence on a train that was actually really, really fun to watch. Also, Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans. I like Ryan Gosling, I like Chris Evans. I'm glad that I can walk away from this movie saying they were pretty good in the movie. Not necessarily given the best material in the world, but they're pretty good for what they're given. Ryan Gosling is pretty good as the main character. He plays a character named Six. And in this movie, he has a very dry, sardonic, sarcastic way of looking at everything. It's kind of fun the way that he bounced off of the other characters in the movie, and I enjoyed watching his character. There's not much to his character beyond that, but you know, like I said, entertaining. Chris Evans is definitely the one that's having the most fun in a movie like this. I like it when an actor like Chris Evans gets to come into a movie like this. Well, actually, now that I think about it, Knives Out, he was a pretty big fucking asshole in that movie. So he's pretty much playing that version, but just way crazier, and he gets to do a lot more in a movie like this. And Ana de Armas and Jessica Henwick are really talented actresses, and actually they're two of my favorite actresses, and they're giving good performances in this movie too. They're also incredible to look at, and Yeah, I just felt like I'd point that out. Like, okay, they're giving good performances. Imagine if they weren't in this movie and I couldn't say, oh yeah, Ana de Armas and Jessica Henwick, yeah, they're so hot. Imagine if they're not in the movie and they get replaced with, like, I don't know, Flava Flav. Like, imagine if Flava Flav was in a movie like this. Like, yeah, sure, Flava Flav could probably do a decent performance or something, but you'd be like, man, there could be Ana de Armas or Jessica Henwick in his spot, and instead, we get Flava Flav. You know what? Now that I think about it, Flava Flav actually would have made this movie a little bit more entertaining. For the sequel, can we get Flava Flav? I don't need him to have a huge role or anything. I just need him to show up in the middle of the scene with his huge fucking clock, say a bunch of stupid shit. It doesn't even have to make sense. Just throw it in the script, make it work. We've seen dumber stuff thrown into a script. Yeah, you got Chris Evans, you got Ryan Gosling, you got a bunch of action. If you're looking for anything else in the movie, okay, well, we're in the negatives part of the video, obviously, right now. I would like to point out once again that this movie is $200 million. $200 million. Are you guys not, I don't know, maybe you're not contemplating. Do you know that the average superhero movie nowadays costs anywhere from 150 to 250, maybe even $300 million if you're one of the bigger ones, like one of the Marvel ones? $200 million was spent on this movie. Is this a movie that feels like it really earns that budget, or it justifies how much money was put into it? Well, I mean, it's so hollow, it's so shallow. There is absolutely nothing going on in this movie beyond exactly what you see with your own eyes. It has very little to no depth. It has no character. There's some weird drone shots in this movie that the Russos threw in there that, I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure that really worked. The plot, you've seen this movie I don't know how many times at this point. And as far as the story, there's no thrill, there's no excitement, there's no surprise, because there's nothing really going on that's gonna engage you as a story. It's a spy thriller about a MacGuffin. How do you think that movie is gonna turn out? Some of the dialogue is really bad. A lot of the lines feel like they're waiting for the audience to laugh, and it felt very awkward, some of the humor and some of the really atrocious dialogue that they had some of these characters saying. But again, the actors are doing their best to sell it. The bigger issue is that there's just nothing to any of these characters. Like, they're so paper thin in terms of their characterization, in terms of how well they're fleshed out, in terms of their motivations. I mean, how Jessica Henwick's character does nothing the entire movie but complain. She just complains about a bunch of shit in the last act of the movie. She's like, I'm a boss bitch. And I'm just like, does the movie want me to feel invested in this? I don't care. It's a movie that's pretty harmless in the grand scheme of things. I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's entertaining. It has good action. This movie was pretty average. I'm gonna leave this one in the Fortress of Solitude. A lot of videos, a lot of catching up to do. That you're probably gonna see a mix of new and old over the next few weeks. Like, for example, Bullet Train comes out, I think, next week, so you're probably gonna see me review Bullet Train, but then you might see me jump back and review Thor, and then you might see me jump back and review Doctor Strange and Nope. Oh wait, no, I'm reviewing Nope this weekend. Bottom line is you're gonna see a lot of old and new. It's gonna be a good mix of things. And I hope you guys enjoy the videos. There's gonna be a lot of them coming out over the next few days. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for bearing with me. Please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.